आरती को रे न ब्रह्मा आदि देवगाने, कि बो नर हरियादि कोरी चमरा ढुलाया। संजया मुकुंद वासु घोष अधिगाया। कि वो शंखा बाजे घंटा बाजे बाजे करताला। मधुर मृदंग बाजे परम रसाला। शंखा बाजे घंटा बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे। 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 मधुर 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 बाजे। मधुर 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 बाजे। मधुर 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 बाजे। निताई गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल। निताई गौरा हरि बोल। नित्य गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल। नित्य गौरा हरि बोल। वो बहु कोटि चंद्र जीनी वदन उज्ज्वला। गल देशे वन माला कोरे झलमाला। कि वो शिव सुख नारद प्रेमे गद गदा। भक्ति विनोद देखे गौरर संपदा। कि वो जयो जयो गौरा चंदे आरतिक शोभा। जानवी तटवने जग मन लोभा। नमा ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिन इति नामिने। नामस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्यता दिशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ramo 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ramo 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ramo 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 Hare Hare. Nitai Gauranga Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga Gaura Hari, Nitai Gauranga Gaura Hari. Jai Sachinandana Jai Sachinandana, Jai Sachinandana Jai Sachinandana, Jai Sachinandana Gaura Hari, Jai Sachinandana Gaura Hari. Gaura 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 Gaura, Gaura 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 Hari, Gaura 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 Hari. Jai Jagannath Jai Jagannath, Jai Baladeva Jai Subhadra, Jagannath Swami Nayan Pathgami, नयन पथगामी भाव तुम्हें, नयन पथगामी भाव तुम्हें। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Jaya Radha Shyam Sundar Radha Shyam Sundar Shri Radhe. Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Pancha Tattva Jaya Pancha Tattva Jaya Pancha Tattva Jaya Pancha Tattva. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nitya Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitya Gaura Hari Bol. Harnaam Sankirtan ki jai.
Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivakacharya Asta Shrimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivakacharya Asta Shrimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnavindi Ki. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki. Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Gopinath Sham Kun Radha Kun Gita Govardhan Ki. Prem Shri Gaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki. Tulsi Devi Bhakti Devi Ki. Samaveda Bhaktivinoda Ki. Ganga Mai Ki. Jamuna Mai Ki. Vrindavanami Ki. Mayapur Dhami Ki. Jagannath Puri Ki. Transcendental Book Distribution Ki. Hari Nam Sankirtan Ki. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga.
Ansh, sing Narsingh Aarti. Prabhu, put the mic for it. You play the mridang? Play the mridang? Yeah, you also sit down and sing with him. You want Katha?
No.
Come and
Yes. That you make a mistake. Yes. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Praladala Gadaine. Hiranyakasipu Vakshaha. Shrilatanka Nakalae. Ito Narsimha Parato Narsimha.
guys. Okay, I can't hear you. Hi.
Yato yato yami tato narsimha. Yato yami tato narsimha. Gahe narsimho, he gahe narsimho. Narasimhamadim sharanam prapade. Tava kara kamalavare dakha adbhuta shringa dalita hiranyakashipu tanu vringa keshavadrita narahari rupa jaya jagadisha hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Narsimhadev, Jaya Narsimhadev, Jaya Narsimhadev, Jaya Narsimhadev. Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Narsingh Bhagwan ki, Prahlad Maharaj ki. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So the Narsingha Aarti was led by a Sunday school student, Ansh Prabhu. Let's greet him with a loud Haribol.
Now we'll have Sunday peace class. So all the Sunday school kids can go to the other side, registered only. Rest of the kids can stay in the reception if they're going to make noise. Otherwise, they can stay here. Fine. Everybody can, yeah, move forward and turn towards this side to the speaker. His Grace Bhosar Prabhu will give the class today. Disciple, senior disciple of Srila Prabhupada. Haribo. Pradanga. Pradanga. Bhavya.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Balaba Jivanadi. Gopi Jana Balaba Jivanadi. Yasoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yasoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yamuna Tera Vanachari. Yamuna Tera Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Ballabha Yevanirari. Gopi Jana Ballabha Yevanirari. Yasodhanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yasodhanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. So tonight is very special, and thanks everybody for coming. We're celebrating Sri Advaitacharya Prabhu. Very special. One has to understand all of these, what is called tattva. Very important, very deep subject matter, especially this Chaitanya Charitamrita. Prabhupada called this the postgraduate study. Generally, we try very hard to understand Bhagavad Gita. And Prabhupada said Bhagavad Gita is like the ABC. So just see, the ABC is so advanced. Just the ABC is so advanced. What you speak of the Srimad Bhagavatam, that is called the Spotless Purana. And this Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is very important for the residents of, Prabhupada would say, the residents of Kali Yuga. Very important because trying to understand Krishna, that's very difficult. Because Krishna is it'll be described later, that's called Vishnu Tattva. So we as living entities, we are called Jiva Tattva. Jiva Tattva means like the small particle. And Vishnu Tattva is the whole thing, the whole personality, the supreme personality is Vishnu Tattva. And as we'll describe later, Mahavishnu is expanded as Gavadakshay Vishnu and Shivadakshay Vishnu. So one has to, although these subjects are very technical, sort of, we still have to try to understand what it means. So all these, the key in understanding all of these literatures is simply the bona fide spiritual master. That's what is described here, just like Sri Advaita Acharya. Like Srila Prabhupada, we describe as, an Acharya. Acharya, the word means to one who doesn't just say something, but one who lives it. One who doesn't talk it, but who lives it. Acharya means a teacher by example. So we are all very much in need of an Acharya because we learn by example. When we're a little child, we learn from the example of our parents, our elder siblings. So we're always learning from an example. This is where we learn. So when we come to spiritual life, we're still learning from example. So we're depending very much on the example of the bona fide Acharya. Not that somebody, it's not like an ambition. I want to become an Acharya. You have to be very careful. Krishna consciousness is like a material ambition to be a great devotee, It's not like that. But at the beginning, one may not understand what the real meaning of these things are, but by the purificatory processes, one can come to understand by association and by, love for association. So we'll describe Sri Advaita Acharya is very important because in Kali Yuga, this incarnation of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is critical. It's critical because this process that he's given is a process that everyone can accomplish. If we ask someone, can you go to the Himalayas? Can you meditate for, we don't even have so many years, right? In those days, people were meditating hundreds of years. Now, somebody can't even meditate half an hour. So there's no question of becoming self-realized by following a process that's too much for us. So that's why Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, to give us a process that we can do, that we'll be able to do. And that is simply the devotional service of chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. So you'll find that before Lord Chaitanya made his descent, he also appeared, his incarnations appear. Whenever there's a pastime going on, everybody appears to do the pastime, and then Krishna comes. So everybody, first Advaita Acharya was present in, that is called Santipur. And although he was the incarnation of Mahavishnu, still he was thinking that things are so bad in this age that you need Krishna himself personally to come. Anything less than that, it wouldn't be sufficient. And so by offering his prayers again and again and beseeching Krishna like this, he was able to attract the attention of Lord Chaitanya, who made his appearance. How he did that was simply making this offering to the what is called the Shalagram Shila. Now we have the Shalagram Shila on the altars, right? It's one form. If you try to understand all of this deity worship, you won't be able to understand. You have to become a pure devotee to understand. Let's face it, You're seeing the deity, but your eyes have to become purified in order to see Krishna, right? This one gentleman, he asked this to Srila Prabhupada. He said, Swamiji, Srila Prabhupada, can you show me Krishna? And Prabhupada said, yes, I can show you Krishna, but do you have the eyes? So it's very important because the devotional service will purify your vision, so you'll be able to see Krishna. The devotional service itself will purify the hearing ability, so you'll be able to hear Krishna. Your senses will be able to contact Krishna. That is the meaning of purification, that your senses will accomplish what usually cannot be done by them. You'll be able to see Krishna gradually. That's why Srila Prabhupada, what he did, he engaged the devotees in the temple in becoming purified and becoming devotees. There's two different ways of speaking. Either we're speaking about Krishna's pastimes, about Krishna's description, his devotees, associates, things like that, or either we're speaking about how to become a devotee. Generally, people who are already devotees, they're concerned with Krishna's pastime. But poor people who are not devotees, they have to find out how to become a devotee first. First, become a devotee. That's not as easy as it sounds. Right. Just like Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta, Gaura Kishore, they spend their whole lives to become great devotees. They just didn't take it up overnight, right? So face it, in order to become a pure devotee, you'll have to become just as dedicated as these devotees. Nothing less. We shouldn't think that we're getting a less form of Krishna consciousness. No. And we're getting access to become purified. That is the actual purpose of human life. Even if you have something material, right? How long will it last? It will only last as long as this body lasts. And this body is not permanent. Face it. You're going to have to give up the body. So people are serious. Instead of being forced to give up the body later on, they use the human life to perfect it. Perfect it means what? You are self-realization means what? You have different bodies. You have the gross body, you have the subtle body. These are not your bodies. It is temporary bodies that you inhabit these bodies. Material energy is you're just inhabiting it for a little while with the purpose of becoming purified, to purify the soul so that you can reach the platform of what is called transcendental ecstasy. Without being in ecstasy, you'll always be miserable. Without being in ecstasy, you'll always be miserable. You have no choice. And even if we say, oh, we'll get so many nice material things, we'll keep our senses occupied, still you won't be in ecstasy about that. So ecstasy, love of God, things like that is very difficult to attain. If somebody doesn't attain it in this life, they have to go to another life. And Prabhupada said, do not trust the next life because you don't know what will happen. A good example in this life, you're a devotee, yeah, but that's your good fortune. It was very easy for you to become a non-devotee. You could have just had some bad association and you would have become a non-devotee. I'm just going to read this one verse from the Chaitanya Charitamrita concerning Sri Advaita Acharya, so you can get a nice understanding. Mahani Vishru Anusya Advaita Guna Dhamma Ishvare Abhiditi He Advaita Punarnama. Sri Advaita, who is a reservoir of virtues, is the main limb of Mahavishnu. His full name is Advaita, for he is identical in all respects with the Lord. Uvayachi Kalyasava Vishvare Sarjana Avatari Kaya Eve Bhakti Pavatana. As he has formerly created all the universes, now he descended to introduce the path of bhakti. Jive Nestarika Krishna Bhakti Karidana Gita Bhagavate Kalya Bhaktira Vyaktayana. He delivered all living beings by offering the gift of Krishna Bhakti. He explained the Bhagavad Gita and the Srimad Bhagavatam in the light of devotional service. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Although Sri Advaita Prabhu is an incarnation of Vishnu, for the welfare of the conditioned souls, he manifested himself as a servitor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And throughout all his activities, he showed himself to be an eternal servitor. Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda also manifested the same principle, although they also belong to the category of Vishnu. If Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda, and Advaita Prabhu had exhibited their all-powerful Vishnu potencies within this material world, people would have become greater impersonalists, monists, and self-worshippers than they had already become under the spell of this age. Therefore, the personality of Godhead and his different incarnations and forms played the parts of devotees to instruct the conditioned souls how to approach the transcendental stage of devotional service. Advaita Acharya especially intended to teach the conditioned souls about devotional service. The word Acharya means teacher. The special function of such a teacher is to make people Krishna conscious. A bona fide teacher following in the footsteps of Advaita Acharya has no other business than to spread the principles of Krishna consciousness all over the world. The real qualification of an Acharya is that he presents himself as a servant of the Supreme. Such a bona fide Acharya can never support the demoniac activities of atheistic men who present themselves as God. It is the main business of an Acharya to defy such imposters posing as God before the innocent public. Om Aginam Timirandasya Ginam Ginam Shalakaya Chakshu Militam Dena Tajmai Shri Guruve Namaha Vanchakalpa Turubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Be'evacha Patitanam Papanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So, you know, this Krishna consciousness is very deep science. Means every time you'll find yourself learning more and more and more. You think you found something, you inquire more, you make more surrender, you find more realization. And because for people who are looking for God, we're all in the search for God. Papa says there's two kinds of people, the devotees and the demoniac. You'll find the devotees, they're heading towards God, they're very serious, they want to find out what's going on. You'll find the demoniac, they don't care about that, they're enjoying the senses, they want to go this way, they're mad at everybody. So you have these two different kinds of people. They never agree. You'll never find a non-devotee feeling like, oh, you know, God must be great or something like that. You'll never think like this. And you'll never find a devotee thinking that God is small, he's not important. So these two persons are making their own destinies. And most living entities you see in the material world, they're a result of these two destinations, these two choices. We always forced with this choice. Either we're forced to make a spiritual solution or we're forced to make a material solution. Just like those who are in material life, they say, why you take the spiritual life? You know, you still need money, you still need to everything to enjoy. Nice argument, right? Very strong argument. And then people who are in spiritual life say, oh, well, you're gonna, so you have everything material, you still have to leave the body. So they're both different kinds of people. So this Krishna consciousness is specifically for the devotees. These are called the devatas, you know, the godly persons. So we should remember that every devotee we see is a godly person. It's not just a guy or just a lady, you know. It's a godly person that Krishna is interested in to give this process to, how to become purified, how to become surrendered, how to develop humility and the good qualities. Uh, so there's a nice story. I want to speak about Sri Advaitacharya, very important. He was, there's a lot of pastimes. If you want to find out about these things, you have to read the books, Chaitanya Charitamrita, 17 volumes. You shouldn't be intimidated by the information that you cannot, and you should not expect you can understand it all right away. You think I'm very intelligent, I'm very well read and things like that. But if you apply yourself to Chaitanya Charitamrita, you'll find that, you'll become humble because you'll see that you don't know so much. You'll become humble because just think about it. Mahavishnu, who's that? That's who all the universes are coming from. And he's appearing as a devotee, right? So you are looking for God, but God wants to be a devotee. So just imagine how great the position of a devotee is. That even God wants to be a devotee. So we should not think of being a devotee, oh, that's a small thing. Or you're being a Hare Krishna, that's a small thing. No, that's a very big thing. And all of the advanced information is there. You simply have to apply yourself. You've come to the personality of Godhead. When you approach this temple, you approach Krishna, and Krishna is seeing you in your approach, and he has what you need for you to become purified and for you to be able to render this service. Right now, it's very dangerous time on the earth. What is the value of the knowledge that people have? What is the real value? There's no real value, because if you just, all you can see, if you experiment, the scientists are trying to find everything. They're not finding the soul. They're not finding God. So what is their conclusion? There's no soul, there's no God. This means that if you want to find God, you can't come this way. You have to go this way. By approaching God properly with good behavior and knowing who you're approaching. Not challenging over on this side, maybe there's no God, then that'll be offensive. When persons are offensive, what happens? They take birth away from God. Because there's authorities that protect God from people who are not genuine. In this material world, we find a lot of people who are not genuine, right? That is the material world. If you go to Vaikuntha, you wouldn't find anybody who's not genuine. And so to become genuine, first, to become a devotee first. Not that we make an assumption, I'm a devotee already. No, it's not that easy. That's why Prabhupada trained his disciples in the temple for years and years and years and years. Those who say, okay, so many years, I haven't seen Krishna yet. You still have to do it many more years, most likely, to find Krishna. You should not feel that I've done it so much time, now I want to see Krishna. You have to become purified. Not Krishna have to become purified. We have to know what our place is. And we have to see what Krishna is giving us and apply ourselves. So in this age, by the grace of Sri Advaitacharya, therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made his descent into this world. This world is Krishna's responsibility also. We are, just like a father has responsibility for the children, right? You'll find that even if a child is a bad child in the jail, the parents will still think that he was a nice boy, So Krishna is like that too. Although his sons are in jail, he still thinks that they're nice, he wants to get them out of jail. And so he comes, which is a critical time in our lives. And then we can find, first of all, the good association with the devotees. And gradually, that is the principle of devotional service. Get initiated by a bona fide spiritual master. That is the beginning of devotional service for one who is, serious. And from there, once you get initiation, then you have an opportunity that is called the Bhakti Lata Bij. That is the seed of devotional service. It grows in the heart. You have to put it in the heart, and you have to water it by hearing and chanting and association with devotees. Coming to the temple is a very big part of Krishna consciousness, as you may know. Because when you come to the deity, you get the blessings of the deity. What is that? The blessings of the deity, that's the association with the devotees. That's the direct association with Krishna, is through the association with devotees. Because by devotee association, we can what? We can get their blessing. We can become like them. Even if you don't have all the good qualities of a devotee, you can get those qualities by association, very easy. They can be given to you. They already belong to you, but you don't know they're covered. In the Krishna conscious movement, the Krishna conscious process, we purify. The gross body we purify, by prasadam. That's very easy. Nothing hard about that. Just eat prasadam. How difficult is that? So that's purify the body, that's easy. Purify the mind, that's a little more, tricky. Because first the mind will say that I don't need anything, The mind will be running like I don't need anything, You need it. You need it. You need to be purified. You need to be surrendered. Prabhupada said that in the Krishna consciousness, in the books, when they're talking about non-devotees, they're talking about us. Because simply just I'm dressing a devotee doesn't make you a devotee, a pure devotee. That requires, applying it and learning and studying. Even you cannot say that just like one of our great acharyas is Gauri Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj. Yeah, he wasn't so much involved with study. He's actually, it's a great glorification. They say like he was illiterate, right? That's a big glorification for him. Because how you don't read so much, and how can you become a pure devotee? Okay, so in one sense, you don't have to read so much, but in another sense, you do have to read. So it applies to your particular situation. Somebody, they can surrender everything. They don't have to be convinced about anything, right? They can make a surrender and they can become a pure devotee. Somebody else, their mind doesn't understand things that easy. So it may take a longer time. But and somebody else may be easy. So we have to apply ourselves, we have to jump into it. We can't look at what the other person is doing. The other person, they're leaving the body separately. You're leaving the body separately and they're leaving the body. So the important thing is how to make the progress very serious so you can leave the body. And first, as soon as the one body becomes purified, it becomes less of an influence on you. When the gross body becomes purified, it becomes less, almost vanishes. And when the subtle body becomes purified, that also becomes less on you. Then your ecstasy and your love of God, which is really you, that will manifest itself. But first, the gross body and the subtle body have to become purified. And we have to become purified. The gross body fools us to think that we belong to this set of people, we belong to this place on the earth, we belong to this planet, we belong to, so it's like a contamination. You've cut yourself short by thinking you're the body. You've lost your real identity and you have lost your real happiness by the material energy fooling you to think that you're the body. Prabhupada said you're partly the body because the body reflects your real mental condition and your real state of existence and all thing, but it's not really you, it's still temporary. So both things have to be understood properly. Things like that can only be understood from a pure devotee. A pure devotee doesn't know that just Krishna is a spirit. What is the spirit? The whole world is studying about the spirit. This is not very good. Because first of all, the spirit, you cannot understand God from an impersonal point of view. So people are trying to love the impersonal Brahman and not knowing that the personality of God is really where God is, the personality of God. Just like you have energy, but you have persons that are like we are all persons. So you have energy, but then you have persons. What's more important, the energy or the person? The person is where everything is for. Just like the child, the bed is not important, it's the child that's important. Just like the automobile is not the important thing. If there's a crash, what do you go for? To save the car or to save the person? You go to save the person. Forget about the car. People say, "Oh, who cares about that?" You know, so it's like that. So when you go for God, you have to go for the personality of God to find out who God is, what he does. How are you going to love God? Knowledge is required. Therefore, we're in the Brahma Sampradaya. Also, I want to speak something about today is the disappearance of Srila Madhavacharya. Very important devotee in our Sampradaya. He's a disciple of Srila Vyasadeva. So those who are interested in knowledge, real knowledge, in this age will get to study this Chaitanya Charitamrita, Prabhupada said. And in this Chaitanya Charitamrita, this is giving the keys how to become a pure devotee. What are all these pure devotees enjoying and having, how are they making their progress? That's all described in Chaitanya Charitamrita. The incarnations, like I said before, the Vishnu Tattva, that's the important thing. That's how you find God, through understanding God's incarnations, how they're coming. This is how you really find God, by understanding his incarnations, how they're coming on the earth. And then you'll find out the importance of being a devotee and how to, how to follow properly in humility, how to learn from the other devotees. It's not like a devotional service is never going to be you alone meditating to find Krishna. Not like they're not doing that in Goloka, Vrindavan either. They're not going to the forest and meditate on Krishna. You know what they're doing is they have Krishna directly with them. This is devotional service. So we're not just meditating on Krishna. We have Krishna directly with us. And we have the pure devotees with us. What is required is your vision have to become purified. And then you'll see, it's not just Srila Prabhupada is very wonderful in the sense that he is not just a pure devotee, very great person, but he's showing us how we can also become like that. Prabhupada said like that. Advanced pure devotees, they're working so that we can become also advanced devotees. So they're doing the work for us. And by the results that they get, they bring and they give it to us. Whatever they find out about Krishna, they come and Krishna allows them to give it to us. That's how we find out about Krishna. So these devotees and these incarnations is very much important in Krishna consciousness. We have Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Acharya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Krishna, Lord Chaitanya, that's Krishna directly. Sri Gadadhar, that is, everyone knows who's Gadadhar? Radharani, right? And who is, everybody knows who is Nityananda, right? Everybody knows him, he's Balaram. There's no question asking who is he. And also Advaita Acharya, Mahavishnu, right? And who knows who is Srivas? Narada Muni. So just imagine these five, how great can you get? Mahavishnu, Lord Balaram. Lord Balaram is Ananta. Mahavishnu is laying down on Ananta. So just see the relationship, Balaram and Mahavishnu. And Srivas, the importance of it, a devotee is part of Krishna. Narada Muni, he's part of the Pancha Tattva. The rest of them are all Vishnu Tattvas. But Narada Muni, he's Jiva Tattva, but he's also included in the Pancha Tattva. Very important. And to study why. How come a devotee is with Krishna? Those people who are trying to become God, that's foolish. But these devotees who are actually one with Krishna, they're with him directly, enjoying. Those who are trying to become one with Krishna without being a devotee, that is foolish. You're not being a devotee. You're just trying to get the power. So you find Krishna consciousness is nothing about getting the power, you know. In Krishna consciousness, as soon as you think about getting a big power and everything, you become a failure. But as soon as you become a lover of the devotees and do everything the right way, off to Vaikuntha, very easy. So that is being made available in the Krishna consciousness movement. The highest knowledge, the highest information, the highest platform of spiritual ecstasy. That is a very great thing. If somebody could accomplish that in their life, then their whole life is a success. Their life has really become a success. We've seen that example easy by Srila Prabhupada. Those of us who were fortunate to be with Prabhupada directly, we were very much affected by Srila Prabhupada, not just what he knew, his philosophy or something like that. It's very important. You won't know about things like that until you have directly a relationship with your guru. You find your salvation from that person who Krishna has given you as your spiritual master. Then you can develop yourself nicely. You'll find that as long as that spiritual master is bona fide, he's in the same position as Srila Vyasadeva. It's like we worship Srila Vyasadeva. When we worship the guru, the spiritual master's birthday, we call that Vyasa Puja. So this means that a bona fide devotee, as is described here, is he is a servant of Krishna. In this process, being the servant is the great thing. Being the master, you know, in the material world, being the master, that's the big thing. Everybody, I've been the master, I want to be the master. But in devotional service, everybody wants to be the servant. I want to be the servant. So it's completely opposite. And that has to be learned, you know, by practice, by learning, by study, hearing. You come to the lectures all the time. Those who are Prabhupada disciples, you know, Prabhupada wanted us to study these literatures 3 times. And he made us study in the morning in the Bhagavatam class every morning. Actually, somebody who studies Srimad Bhagavatam every morning, that person can become a great scholar. Just imagine Srimad Bhagavatam, anybody who studied that literature, you know, there's a very advanced literature, Srimad Bhagavatam. And so this Krishna conscious movement, that is why Srila Prabhupada labored all night to write Srimad Bhagavatam. He would wake up in the middle of the night and he would translate all of these Bhagavatam for his disciples, because he knew that his disciples needed to be, Prabhupada said, I need my disciples to be strong, bala, because it's a big job, you know, but we're confident because we have so much nice information and we have the blessings of all of these acharyas, our spiritual masters. We have the Bhakti Siddhanta. This is not Prabhupada's movement. This is the movement of all of these great devotees, right? Bhakti Siddhanta. This is also, Krishna consciousness is also Bhakti Siddhanta movement. Krishna consciousness is also Bhakti Vinod Thakur's movement. So we should not say Krishna consciousness is Prabhupada's movement. You know, this is Lord Chaitanya's movement. That was predicted to spread all over the world. And with the advent of Prabhupada, that actually happened. And if you try, you'll see all over the internet, all over the world, devotees from everywhere coming to this one understanding about Krishna. That's a miracle. How can people come to understand Krishna like that? That's a miracle. Krishna is supposed to be what? Hindu, right? Very interesting how that's happening. But that's happening through the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If you don't know about him, then you have to study and you read to find out. I know this one story of a person, he had the Chaitanya Charitamrita and he wasn't reading it. He had it on a shelf. And one day the shelf got bounced and the book hit him on the head. And he said, wait a minute, and then he started reading Chaitanya Charitamrita. Now he's a firm believer and a devotee. So the books are like this. Actually, the books are alive, If you put them away, they get angry, you're putting me away, I mean? So the books have a life to them. And so that is Krishna, that he's engaged with the material energy, is Krishna is pervading all the material energy. So all the material energy is alive. It's alive, just like Govardhan Hill was alive, right? Give me more, give me more. So the hill was saying that. So the material energy is alive with Krishna. And a devotee, he can find Krishna in the material energy by working with it and by remembering Krishna. And we have all the help that we need. From as I said before, even the incarnations are helping us. Shri Advaita Acharya. So when we chant, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva, we're glorifying these descent of this incarnation. No one can really help us except Krishna. So that's why Advaita Acharya, he prayed for Krishna. He didn't say, I'm Vishnu, I'll do it myself. Right? He could have said that. Prabhupada told us one time, he said that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, he could have done everything just like Prabhupada did. But out of kindness, he left something for us to do. Actually, that's the fact. Bhaktisiddhanta could have done that. But he left us something, we all have something to do. Prabhu, can you do this service? If somebody says, Prabhu, can you do this? You have to be excited that Krishna chose you to do it. It's the way that your vision is, I was hearing some talks with Radhanath Maharaj was saying that, when you're in a big festival, right, with a lot of devotees, you can be blessed by that or you can get cursed by that. Depends on how you look at that, If you say, oh, there's so many devotees, they're stepping on me, they're pushing me, there's so many, I can't see, I can't breathe, then you won't get the blessing. But if you say, oh, they're pushing me, I love it, they're stepping on me, they're pushing, I love it, then you'll get all the blessings and everything like that. So it's the way you look at it, And you should always be there to encourage devotees in being devotees. We should never try to be better than them. We should encourage them. In the material world, the false ego makes us think that we're better than this person, we're better than that, we want to be better than that. So in Krishna consciousness, we become purified from that. We're less than everyone. So we don't have to fight to be anything because we're less than everyone. That is the Vaishnava way of seeing things. You're the servant of everyone. And therefore, Krishna chooses a Vaishnava to come forward, to become purified, and actually to become a pure devotee, to be a benefit for the people on the earth. And everyone can benefit and go back to Godhead very easy with much difficulty. If you simply take shelter of the parampara, like I said before, it begins by, very important, getting initiation from a bona fide spiritual master. Very important. And even Krishna himself teaches that he's the disciple of Sandipani Muni, him and Balaram. And even Lord Chaitanya is teaching that he's the disciple of Ishwar Puri. So even God himself is teaching by example. And it's not difficult. And although Srila Prabhupada is not here directly, Srila Prabhupada disciples are here on the earth, and they will do what is needed to be done in the service of their spiritual master. So it's very serious. And so this is God. Once, nice pastime, Shri Advaita Acharya, he was thinking that Krishna's offering so much respect to him. So he was thinking, I don't like this. I want to be put in my place. I want to be the servant of Krishna. Because actually, he was the godbrother of Lord Chaitanya's spiritual master. So he was thinking that, like that, how can I get this attention from Lord Chaitanya? Every time I see him, he's offering respects to me as an elder. So he devised what he would do, what he would start preaching Bhagavad Gita from an impersonal point of view, like in Mayavadi. And so Lord Chaitanya found out about that. And Lord Chaitanya came and chastised Sri Advaitacharya for preaching like that. And immediately that made Advaitacharya very happy, because now he was on the chastising end. So he's very ecstatic. It's very difficult to understand these personalities, how they do things. If you study them more and more, you'll get an idea of what it means. And so that's very important. We should always remember that Lord Chaitanya is directly against this Mayavadi and impersonal teaching, which is, we can say it's part of spiritual life too. You know, Brahmatmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavan, iti sabdite. But the thing is, this Kali Yuga is completely run over by impersonals. And so the appearance of Lord Chaitanya is to change that. That was also Narada Muni. He mentioned that to his spiritual master, Srila Vyasadeva. Srila Vyasadeva was feeling that he had written all of the Vedas, but he was feeling incomplete. And that incomplete feeling was about he had not presented Krishna's pastimes. So this is the difference, you know, in finding God. You find the personality of God, you find his pastimes, and you find the position that you are in those pastimes as a devotee. And that is where you make a turn for going back to the spiritual world. We've all made the turn to go back to the spiritual world. And this Krishna conscious movement is just like the, gives all facility for that, for souls who are ready to develop that. Every time you come to this temple, every day is an opportunity for you to get closer and closer and more realized. You have to have faith. It's not that very few people in the material world are going back to Godhead, right? But you got to be one of those people, right? We should not think about who's not going. Who's not going, that's okay, you know. We feel bad for them, right? But we're more concerned about we're going, right? We're focused. That's Krishna's reward. Krishna's reward, Krishna gives blessings and rewards. That's we're in the Krishna conscious movement, we're devotees, means that we're in line to get blessings from Krishna. It's not that you become a pure devotee, you won't get nothing from Krishna. No, Krishna's giving big things. Krishna's giving. But people who are not conscious, they don't know that. They won't get those things because they don't know that God is giving these things. How to become a pure devotee and how to become spiritually advanced. This is where the happiness lies. Just being not spiritually advanced, there's no real happiness in that. There's no happiness in being a non-devotee. And, you know, we as devotees, you know, we're looking for the happiness. If somebody tells you they're not trying to become happy, you know, they're just lying, you know, because our nature is to be happy. And in the material world, when we don't become happy in the material world, we become sad, you know. We become like, we're angry with God because he, you know, we're not getting what he's made a creation for us to get. But why we didn't get the happiness is because we cheat ourselves by putting God like away, like I don't have to struggle to find God. You know, so we're making like he's not very important. And therefore our happiness is going down the drain with that kind of thing. As soon as we can make a change, then our happiness will develop, our real happiness. And it wouldn't be like, I'm happy today with it, tomorrow I'm not happy with it. No, it'll be continue to rise and rise and rise and rise. Material happiness is like that. We get something and then we can become displeased with the same thing we get. You know, one time we like this, next time we don't like it. I got this car, I like this car. I see another car, I don't like this car anymore. You know, I am this apartment, it's stale now. I don't like the apartment anymore. So material life is always going to be like that. It's never going to bring us the full satisfaction which we need as spirit soul. That satisfaction, very important, we can find in devotional service. It's not just about, we try to make Krishna happy in devotional service. We try to make the Guru happy. But really, Krishna is happy already. The real happiness is you need to get it, right? Because Krishna is always and never suffering. Vishnu means one who never suffers. So, but our position is that we're marginal. Prabhupada said, like, just like on the beach, when the water comes up, sometimes it's underwater and sometimes it's on the land, you know? So we're like that too. Sometimes we're in Vaikuntha, sometimes we're in the material world. Because we're marginal, you know? Prabhupada said, like, Maya can catch us and make us like forget everything. That's if you're not conscious of Krishna, then Maya can catch you. Maya can tell you, why are you going to be a devotee now? You can stay here some more with me. So, you know, we're all on the edge. People in material life trying to be happy. How are you going to be happy? You're on the edge, death. It's described in the Vedas like water on a lotus leaf. You know, it can fall off anytime, it can slide off. And we see that, you know, sometimes we're celebrating a birthday, sometimes we're celebrating somebody died, their family is saying something to them. So we're both two things we're living with, you know. It's never going to stop until we leave the body ourselves. We're always going to see people leaving the body. So one should study about this Panchatattva. Especially, you cannot get the mercy of Krishna unless you get it through Advaita Acharya. And then you can get the mercy of Nityananda. This is actually the way it goes. You get the mercy of the Acharya, then you can get the mercy of Nityananda. If you get the mercy of Nityananda, then you can get the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It's like that. So you have to approach from the, you see the devotee is a small thing, but actually devotee, that's the gate to Krishna. Krishna makes it like that, you know. You want to find me, you can only find me through my devotee. That's where you can learn devotional service, humility, and like that. And so Advaita Acharya, Lord Nityananda, you know, all glories to Sri Advaita Acharya. All glories to Lord Nityananda. And all glories to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And we who have taken shelter, like I said before, you simply have to get connected, get attached to this sampradaya. Get a bona fide spiritual master. Get connected and start doing the work on your bhakti ladder beach. Grow it, and it won't grow right away, but it'll gradually grow. The more you surrender, the more you keep watering, Prabhupada said, it'll grow. One day, it'll manifest into a big plant. And then that can grow into a big tree, like a banyan tree. So that development is there. We all have that opportunity. And that's being provided us by the Srila Prabhupada, who labored intensely to bring this for us. And then, and the rest is easy. We can make association nicely and we can go back to garden, right? Okay, so I'd like to stop here and try to get a couple of questions from the devotees from the audience concerning this or anything concerning Aibo, Shri Jagannath Ki.
Announcement after the question answers. Anyone have any questions?
One question, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dhanvat Pranam, all Guru Prabhupada, all Gurus to you. Prabhu, I have one question like Chaitanya Mahaprabhupada, sorry, that Advaita Acharya